Anyone else like to share? How about you in the back with the glasses, sir?
My name's Bobby, and I am an addict.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
You know, you folks aren't here because you're gamblers. You are here because you are terrible gamblers.
Hey, Bobby.
These folks don't need to stop doing what they're doing. They just need to get better at it. Who's stealing?
Please.
Who's that?
All right, let's roll. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people of Busta, but everybody else in between, from Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota. We step up and in on this Monday night, and we are officially on the clock. So we'll be out of here at midnight this evening. I've got a very, very early morning flight to catch, and we'll be in New York tomorrow. There will be no Game Time Decisions radio tomorrow, but I will be with you guys tomorrow night at 10 o'clock from my hotel tomorrow evening, or from wherever I end up being. But I should be in my hotel at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Yeah, that's the deal. So we'll just sort of kick through some things here. We'll set the table for the week. We've got the PGA Championship later in the week, but we're getting out of business right now, actually. We've got late night baseball. We'll track the baseball. We've got a Yankee Cub parlay. The Yankees are doing their part. The broken clock is right twice a day. You figured eventually that the Yankees would have to win. They had a good situation here tonight. They're up 4-0 right now, but I need the Chicago Cubs to take care of business. Right now, I need the Chicago Cubs. But as far as late night baseball is concerned, what do we have coming up? We've got San Francisco and the Houston Astros. We're going to take the San Francisco Giants. We're going to take the under. And you know what? We haven't done a no run in the first inning bet in a little while. So this game actually goes off the board in 8 minutes' time. I don't really have any interest in the Angels-Tigers game. But this Morton versus Rodriguez game, I do. I like the under 7, and I like the home dog here with San Francisco. It's always tough betting against Houston, but the San Francisco Giants are 7-1 in Rodriguez's 8 starts. The kid has pitched well. Of course, he is Pudge Rodriguez's son. I was going to say grandkid. It's his kid. It's Pudge Rodriguez's kid, Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez, Derek Rodriguez. Kid's pitching well, man. He's getting it done. He's specifically very good at home, too. We know the Houston Astros bats are a little bit cold as of late. Morton's been pitching to the under. I like the under 7. And as I stated, we haven't played we used to play the no run in the first all the time. We really haven't played it too much. Yeah, I'm gonna jump. I'm jumping in on the San Francisco Giants. We're on the San Francisco Giants. We're on under 7, and we're on no run in the first inning. A baseball game that I'm not getting on TV, though. Actually, I've got the Yankee game here. Yankees and White Sox. They're into the 7th inning. Now I do have the Miami Marlins, and these motherfuckers have been leading all night, but I'm concerned they're going to blow this. Fuck, the St. Louis Cardinals appear to have the bases loaded, but I don't know. Bet365 scoreboards have been fucking whacked out recently. Like, I don't really understand why the Marlins would be minus 300 right now if the bases are loaded with 1 out. Fuck me, man. I could have cashed out. Last night I lost a fucking soccer game too. I lost a soccer parlay. I could have cashed out with like 2 minutes left. They fucking scored in extra time, in injury time last night in one of these international fucking games. I could have pulled out. I would have made like $8 less, and I didn't. I got fucking scored on. And I'm on the Marlins tonight. I've been looking all night, but it's never really offered me full fucking value to cash out on this bet. It's like they kept on expecting the Cards to come back. Here we are right now, the ninth inning. It appears like the bases are loaded. There's one out. So we'll keep our eye on this. Quick score check. Mets are up 6-4 on the Reds. Yankees up 4-0 right now. Rockies up 1-0 on the Pirates. We're on the Mariners. Mariners are up 3-1. But Texas have the bases fucking loaded. Motherfucker, what is this? Come on, man. Yeah, big man on campus has been freaking out about the Yankees as of late, and with good reason. The Yankees are very fucking lucky they got the White Sox, man. They needed to stop the bleeding. They needed to stop the bleeding. Good opportunity to stop the bleeding against the White Sox. Listen, you got to wonder when the Oakland Athletics go on a little bit of a reality check. You know, we respect the Athletics. We bet on the Athletics a lot, but they're not going to be able to win at this pace forever. So eventually something's got to happen to them. Seattle has sort of gone through this right now. You know, Seattle was winning so much they couldn't keep up that rate. And then Seattle's kind of struggled the last 2 weeks or so, but they're still in it. Now Seattle can get back on track. You've got to believe, look, the Yankees just went through this. Really the only team that's been fucking bulletproof this year is the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox are just on a tear. If you look at every other team has sort of had some ups and downs. The Phillies have been pretty consistent. You know, the Dodgers have been all over the place. Fuck. The Dodgers were terrible. Like, the Dodgers are always like that, though. The Dodgers are either terrible or they're awesome. I'd really prefer to be watching this Cub game right now. I need the motherfucking Cubs to get this done. We need the Cubs. All right, so I see a tweet here. DraftKings Sportsbook, 23 and 24-cent lines on NFL preseason football. Wow. What, these guys fucking nuts? Fuck. Like, I don't understand, like, why they think that people are even going to bet with them. I know you'll get a couple of sort of novices that don't really know what's going on, but I can live with up to 15 cents. You know, it should be minus 110, but the thing is, they do have extra regulations in these states that they don't have in Nevada. I could live with it if they said, listen, fuck, it's minus 115. You know, for football, it's minus 115. You could live with that. You know, you wouldn't like it, but, you know, the convenience of having a sports book next to the stadium and stuff, that's pretty cool. But, you know, come on, man. You can't win. You can't win money if you're laying 25 cents a number all the time on NFL football. If you're laying like 25 cents, like, the margin of error is too slim as it is already. Like, you already need to pick 52% of the time, right, to win money, not to lose money, we should say. And big deal, if you're picking 52% of the time, man, you're spinning your wheels anyways. So, but that's sort of the number, right? You need to pick winners. I think it's 52.8% of the time to fucking actually not lose money. But if you're playing with minus 23 and 24-cent lines, next thing you fucking know, man, like, you know, the juice fucking adds up pretty quickly. You know, my worst gambling day ever, fuck, I lost a shitload of money, and, man, it was the juice that kept doing me in. I was betting $5,000 a game, fuck, so $500 juice a game. And I lost 8 games in a day. Well, 8 times 5, man. You know, it's fucking $4,000 fucking dollars in juice. Like, imagine if it was 25 fucking cents. Like, you can't be betting, you know, like if you bet like a money line something, okay. You know, you're getting a money line, you're getting value at minus 125. They are 2.5 point favorites. I'm laying minus 125. I'm getting value for this. Like, but if you're laying minus 24 fucking cents and you're just getting a normal point spread when it's fucking hard to beat a normal point spread to begin with, how the hell are you going to win? So what happens if you go 3-2? What happens if you go 3-2? You know what I mean? Like, you barely win any fucking money. You get a couple of fucking pennies on the fucking dollar back. Oh, I went 3-2, but I lost 23-cent fucking juice on every play. So it's ridiculous, fuck. Well, I'll tell you what, like the yeah, the bookies and the underworld really have nothing to worry about. Like, it's almost worse than legalized weed, fuck. Like, at least legalized weed it's expensive, legalized weed, but at least legalized weed's very good usually. But, you know, like the weed in Vegas is very expensive, but it is good. And, you know, but it's beyond greed. It's beyond greed. You know what I mean? Like, weed dealers aren't out of business because, you know, dispensaries charge too much anyways. And now, like, if you're a bookie in New York, who the fuck cares then? Who's going to all excited to go bet at the fucking FanDuel or the DraftKings book? I was gonna load up the DraftKings app tomorrow too, but I'm not fucking playing NFL preseason football at minus 20 fucking 4 cents. It's really just, you know, it's counterproductive of these people. You know, it's funny too, because when all this stuff happened, if you remember, everybody said, oh, it's going to be the end of Vegas and fuck, no one's going to go to Vegas anymore. No, fuck, look, these fucking people are like forcing people still to go to Vegas. So what are you going to do if you bet on a fucking Super Bowl future? You know, you're going to lay 25-cent juice? Like, they're fucking nuts. Like, I don't understand, you know, for the brand, for like FanDuel opened up their sports book next to the MetLife Stadium, all right? And as I stated, they're going to do crazy fucking business. Like, they know, like, who the hell's not going to bet? How many, that stadium holds like 82,000 people or something, right? 79,000, 82,000. Like, seriously, there'll probably be about 40 to 50 fucking thousand people going to the sports book. It's like right next to the stadium, pretty much. You know, it's on the same property. So it's going to be crazy. They're going to have a shitload of fucking people betting on games there. So I guess they figure, well, people will bet anyways, but I don't think they will. Like, if some guy could just go on his phone and bet with a sports book or bet with a bookie on his phone, why the fuck is he going to wait in line and go in and bet and get this shitty number? And you look at FanDuel, like in the sports betting world, they got fucking ripped for their shitty fucking lines. They got fucking like crucified. Look at their shitty numbers. What a fucking ripoff. You know, like, I speak to people in New York. They're like, I wouldn't go anywhere near that fucking place. And so you figured like DraftKings wasn't going to do the same thing. Supposedly DraftKings wasn't, but I guess, you know, like DraftKings and FanDuel are already greedy in the sense that they're already keeping like 16% of the DFS shit. So it's funny how like they're even greedier with the gambling. Like, basically that's their percentage. You can't get 24%. Like, what? No fucking bookie, like 24 fucking percent. It's like, yeah, our cut, well, you know, it's like, okay, if there's fucking, you know, you got guys in a room, you know, it's fair. All right. We're going to make 10% just to handle the wager and everything. All right. We're going to make 10% to handle this. It's okay. Fine. Fuck. That's the vig. We get it. Fucking 25%. Who the hell gets 25% on a bet? Like, yeah, you know what? For us to take this bet in the state of New York, you got to give us 25% extra. 25%, fuck. Like, yeah, you can't make money. You couldn't bet and make money doing that. Like, that's that. The only way you would bet that is if you're fucking screwed and you got to bet one game and that's it. Like, you can't go in there and bet 3 games. It's amazing. Brian Rowe is correct in the sense that Brian Rowe is right in the sense that I've heard stories about the FanDuel book, about them already sort of banning people and stuff and shutting people down like real fast. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, if you bet $2,000 or more, they want your ID and know who you are. I know a dude whose buddy was betting $1,000 a game, and I guess he beat him. He didn't like kill him and win a fucking shit. You know what I mean? He was betting $1,000 a game for the first week there, and in Delaware too. He was in Delaware. He's sort of been going to the places, and he was in Delaware, and he got shut down in Delaware after fucking 2 days. They were like, "All right, you can't bet here anymore." And he got shut down and fucking at the Meadowlands betting $2,000 a game. They put him on a list, and he can only bet $500 a game or something. So Brian Rowe is right. They're not open for business in the same way Vegas casinos are open for business. And even Vegas is overrated, but they're making these fucksticks look good. Like Vegas, when it comes to NFL and shit, there are certain places you can bet a lot of money, but you'd be surprised. Like, they freak out when you bet a couple of thousand in Vegas even. Depends on the event. Not so much football. But, I used to bet $1,000 parlays when I lived in Vegas, on UFC. And I was pretty good, and I was winning quite a bit. And the strat shut me down, Suddenly they were like, you could only bet $500 on a parlay. Then it was like, you could only bet $250 on a parlay. And I told the guy, I said, listen, what's the difference? I said, if I play a fucking $250 parlay now, I'll just come back in an hour and play another one for $250. I said, it's not against the law for me to do that. And he goes, yeah, but then we'll change the number. I was like, yeah, good point. I was like, yeah, good point. T-Bone went into the Encore. The Encore is a high-rolling 5-star hotel. Our boy T-Bone went to the Encore. He wanted to bet $2,000 on Michael Bisping on a UFC fight. Bisping was an underdog, too. And they got suspicious and shit. They were like $2,000 on the underdog, and they were like, hold on a minute. And they were like, no, we can only take $700. And he fucking put up a stink. He said, this is the fucking Steve Wins win. You guys charge $500 a night. You can only fucking take. And the manager came out and did it. He said, all right. These guys are just kids. Don't worry. We'll take it. Like the M casino in Vegas will take a big bet. But most places, a lot of places like just casinos in Vegas, it's better than this New York shit because it's 10% juice only. And it's crazy. In Vegas, there's competition. Like there's 5 cent lines on Friday nights and shit at stations, and they actually compete with each other because there's so much competition. So you can even get 5 cent lines. There's a few books on Fremont that'll have 5 cent Saturdays and shit. College football, 5 cents. So you're like minus 105. Like there's actually competition in Vegas. That's the thing. There's actually competition. But yeah, you guys are right. Hainzer is right. It's sort of like the pro line player. What's up, Pushy? Yeah, they're looking for the casual guy. You know what I mean? They're looking for the guy that wants to bet $20 and stuff. And like I said, I think they're thinking, look, between the Jets and the Giants, there's a game there every Sunday. right? I think that's basically what they're thinking their money's going to be. And it will be. Now, this is one thing, though, on the other side of this, though. I was talking to Mike Cardano today, and Cardano was telling me that he's been crushing these books. And he said, yeah, the juice sucks, but this is what's interesting about it. He said, but the fucking Yankee lines are whacked. Like the Yankees were big favorites against the Red Sox pretty much every game. You know what I mean? Like it's New York, fuck. So everyone's betting on the Yankees. Like they're juicing the Yankee number up. So you're getting value betting against the New York teams. And I'll tell you what, too. Every motherfucking Giant fan is going to bet on the Giants. Like their Giant number is going to be whacked. There'll be like 7 in Vegas and 9 fucking FanDuel book at the Meadowlands. And then you'll be able to grab fucking, better value. It's the same way with the lotteries everywhere. Like in Montreal, I used to fucking always bet. I didn't play a lot of like pro line in Montreal, but when I did, I would do it fucking like value wise. Like in Montreal, fuck, on the lottery, of course, the Montreal Canadiens are going to be big favorites. Right, the Canadians are always big favorites. Like it's crazy, man. Like they used to add like 40 cents to it and shit. It was nuts. Like if the game was a pick'em, the Canadians would be minus 150. You know what I mean? If the Canadians were minus 150, it would be like minus 210. It was nuts. They didn't have a choice. Like, and it was great. And the thing is, like, it was funny because every Canadian fan in the city would bet on the Canadians on this. Oh, I'll just take the Canadians no matter what the price is. And every sort of sharp bettor was like fucking, they would only bet against the Canadians. Like that was the thing. Exactly. Regional bias. See, that's what I'm saying, big man. Exactly. If you get a book, you know what I mean? And, you don't have a choice. It's the same shit in Boston. Imagine being a bookie in Boston. The Patriots fucking cover and win all the time. So they've got to juice the numbers up. If they're like -7, the bookie will make it -8.5 or 9 or something. Yeah, but it's too bad because exactly, like Joe Kim said, like all these books, they had an opportunity to do something cool. Like everybody understood that it was going to be -110. Everybody's got their fucking hand out, right? And look in Pennsylvania. It's not even worth it in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, they want like fucking 18% plus tax and this and that. And it's not even a starter. Like I swear to God, like with all the rules in Pennsylvania that they put up, it's not even worth opening a book. And it's kind of pointless of them to legalize it, to be honest, because what was the point of legalizing it if you were going to make it impossible to do it? They want like a $5 million deposit, fucking, you've got to pay them the first fucking whatever. Like it's like a fucking, it's over the Pennsylvania gambling fucking proposal was so stupid that basically every sportsbook operator said, whatever, fuck, we're not even going to open up anything here. It's not worth it. Yeah, we missed out on that. Did the Aces not cover that game, Joe Kim? That's because the Aces traveled all night. That's because the Aces traveled all night, right? And everyone started jumping in against them. Oh, they ended up not playing? Hey, Bo, Miami wins 2-1. What a call. What a call, motherfuckers. I took Chen and DraftKings tonight, too, which nobody wanted to do. I took Chen tonight, 22.95 DK points for $4,300. What's real cool about this, though, is, like I said, they were like plus 145. Classic, isn't it? Oh, fuck me. As soon as I pat myself on the back for winning this game, I look up and I see Texas have tied Seattle at 3. But on the plus side, the Cubs have taken a lead. Oh, that's right. We've got that no run in the first inning. Hey, boom, we win. No run in the first inning. I told you. Cash it. Cash it. Nothing like already having a win out of the gate, huh? We used to play the no run in the first inning a lot. I haven't done it much this year. But it's funny. I looked at this game tonight. I was like, yeah, this is a game. There won't be a run in the first inning. Yeah, the sun, fucking shadows, and you know what I mean? It's like, no. I like these games when it starts when it's light out and it ends when it's dark out west and shit. Rodriguez has been very good at home. Morton's been real good. Anybody else hit that? What's up, RBK? Mega Chew is either saying, hey, Gabe, or hey, babe. I'm not really sure. All right, Rob Danner caught it. Good stuff. Hey, and we hit the nice no run in the first. No run in the first hits. We hit the Marlins. So far 2-0 tonight in baseball. Cubs just hit a home run. They're up 2-1 right now. We've got the Yankees in this parlay. We've got a Cub-Yankee parlay at plus 124. We've got the Giants at plus 130. We're all about plus money plays tonight. It'd be nice to fucking sweep the board and I'll hit plus money. Good shit, Pittsburgh Brew. I'm glad you hit it, bro. Good shit, Money Tank. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it. I would have been stressed out at the end. All right, one thing we have to bring up, since we talked about this so much a couple of weeks ago, is, unfortunately, I didn't see a number for it, but there was a lot of talk when we talked about Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada, playing NCAA teams. And there was a lot of people that was like, oh, they can't beat NCAA teams. And then we said, wow, they always beat NCAA teams every fucking year. And it was like, wow, now they're playing Ole Miss and they're playing Cincinnati. The Carleton Ravens played the Cincinnati Bearcats tonight. Final score, Carleton 87. No, excuse me, 86-67. They won by 19. Carleton won by 19. And for the record, too, Carleton were without 3 of their starters. Fuck. Carleton won by 19. And now I have, well, hey, or whatever. In a couple of days, they'll kick the shit out of Ole Miss, too. But, it just sucks. Sometimes there's lines for this stuff. Sometimes there isn't. And it's annoying because if I would have saw a line, I would have bet the farm on fucking Ottawa tonight. I said this. I said it that night. I said, if I see a number, I guarantee it, the Ravens will beat Cincinnati outright. You don't even need the points. Just take them outright. And it's crazy because the thing is that the odds makers don't know what to do with this. They made fucking Virginia like a 14-point favorite against Carleton, and Carleton beat them outright. So I think they're like, whoa, we're out. I think the only series we're going to get numbers on will be the Duke series. And that'll be different because Duke's not going to lose to these teams. Like I said, Ryerson will give Duke a little bit of a battle, but, Duke's not Cincinnati. Coach Krzyzewski's not going on national. And the difference is, too, Duke's on national television. The Cincinnati game's not on national television. right? The Duke games are on ESPN, right? Duke are playing against the University of Toronto, Ryerson University, which is in Toronto, and McGill University in Montreal. All 3 games are going to be on ESPN. And Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, it's like a Duke fucking international tour type thing. So you got to believe there'll be odds on it. And also, as we've stated before, right? As we've stated before, these are exhibition games for the NCAA teams, right? Like Cincinnati's, this is one of their first games. It might have been Cincinnati's first game tonight, right? And they play their freshmen. It's an exhibition game. So, you know, they want to get their freshman guys that are going to be playing ready for the season. So the thing is, Duke's freshmen are better than Cincinnati's freshmen. You know what I mean? Look, it'd be cool if Duke would fucking play Carleton, but they don't. Yeah, as we stated, we said that years ago. Like we said this, I said that a couple of weeks ago, whatever. It's been years. For whatever reason, and whatever, fuck. Duke is Duke, you know. Duke doesn't have to worry about the Carleton Ravens, but for whatever reason, Coach Krzyzewski doesn't book them. So they got to play everyone else all the time. And it's funny because you look, Coach Krzyzewski's not an idiot. He doesn't want to fucking lose to them. And, you know, they could probably win, but it could end up being a fucking battle, and it would be a big embarrassment to them, right? It would be a big embarrassment to Duke if they lost an exhibition game on ESPN even to a team from Canada. So I think he's like, it's not worth it. So it's just funny, though. They're not playing cupcakes, but, you know, Ryerson went to the title game last year. The University of Toronto are not very good. McGill is a fucking... It's like an Ivy League school, McGill. Like Ryerson is the one that maybe, you know, Ryerson will hang with Duke for a half type shit, but I don't see Ryerson, like, it's not the same. Carleton are the ones that can beat teams. So a nice win for the Carleton Ravens, though. And I'm just glad, you know, that we're on the right side of that argument. And as I stated, I'm aware this wasn't the Cincinnati Bearcats in their prime, you know. This is the Cincinnati Bearcats in their first fucking exhibition game or second exhibition game with a lot of freshmen play. But at the same point in time, Carleton hasn't played a game yet either. Fuck, it's an exhibition game for them too. Look, as we stated, we'll move on from this, but the whole point is Carleton, you know, would beat a lot of NCAA teams. You know, we went over the conferences and shit. You know, they would beat a lot, you know, and even like in real season type shit. They're not a Power 5 conference team, though. They're not a Power 5 conference team, you know. But like all the, you know, there's like 150 fucking teams that are just sort of average. Like I said, Carleton would beat Vermont. I know Vermont basketball well. I know Carleton basketball well. You know, the teams like that, Iona, Niagara, most of those teams fucking they could beat. Like if Carleton was in the same conference as Niagara and Canisius and all these dudes, fuck, they'd be right there. I'm not saying they'd dominate, but they'd be right there at the top. And as we stated, CIS football is a different story. Like there's no real CIS team that can play. You know, they can play like low level NCAA shit, but the basketball is better. You know what it is too? It's the Canadian universities have older dudes. So it's sort of like you've got these, you know, like the kids on Cincinnati tonight are essentially right out of high school. Like they're high school seniors getting ready for college. The guys on Ottawa are like 22 and 23 years old. That's the difference, right? It's the same. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever sport it is. If you're a kid, they're going to be tough against grown men. I like these exhibition games, though. And I remember, too, I don't know what year it was. It was before Tom Izzo was the coach, so it was a while ago. Judd Heathcote was still the coach. It was probably about 20, 25 years ago, I guess. But I remember the Harlem Globetrotters played fucking against NCAA teams for real. It was pretty cool. Like, I saw them play against the Michigan State Spartans. Like, seriously, it was like the Harlem Globetrotters, but the Globetrotters played for real. They weren't doing tricks and stupid shit. They actually played a real game, and they played against Michigan State. Michigan State won. Michigan State won, but fucking barely, man. It was like a fucking battle. I remember, like, the Globetrotters were up, and Michigan State hit a bunch of threes. I don't know. I think Mo Pete might have even played. It wasn't that long ago. Like, maybe Izzo was there. I remember I was in Montreal, though, so it was probably about 20 years ago. Maybe someone could look it up. We do have a lot of historians here. Out of 325 teams, Carleton would be like 150th. Maybe a little higher even. I think you're overinflating the quality of NCAA basketball, big man. 60% of college basketball games suck. Like, really. Like, fuck. You think St. Peter's play good basketball? You think Marist play basketball? You think Hofstra play basketball? You ever watched Niagara fucking game? Yeah, you ever watch a Manhattan Jaspers play? like there's a shitload of shitty fucking teams. I don't give a shit, big man. I'm not delusional. You're the one that said they had no chance to beat Cincinnati. They lose by 19 and you still talk shit. Whatever, dude. I was willing to bet you, but you didn't want to bet. So it's one thing to talk and not actually back it up. I was willing to bet, big man. You weren't. You're willing to talk. I was willing to put money on the table. There's a difference. I told you that night. I said, I will bet you. I said that night, I will bet you. I will take Ottawa against Cincinnati. I don't know why big man, you get so upset that fucking Carleton can beat teams. I'm not saying Carleton's winning the national championship. Yeah, that's it, big man. It was all there was the water boy that played, dude. Yeah, why does the month matter? So I guess it's an exhibition game for Carleton. It's an exhibition game for Cincinnati, but the water boy played. Exactly. Exactly, Ryan Haynes. At least, big man, you can say, well, I was wrong. You know what I mean? That's all you can say, big man. Just say, you know what? Give credit to Carleton. They kicked the shit out of Cincinnati. Like I said, if I can find a number against Ole Miss, they'll beat Mississippi as well. As I stated, it's just there's a bias that, they're Canadian kids. They must be terrible. So who played, big man, when they beat Wichita State by 25 2 years ago? Was it the Wichita State mascot? And last year when they beat Alabama, I guess it was just. So I guess you're saying that all the freshmen on the Cincinnati Bearcats suck. Yeah, listen, we went over it. We went over each conference, as I stated. They're like, to me, they're a middle of the pack NCAA team if they played. You're going to be in Notre Dame for the first week. All right, let's move on. But the whole thing is, big man, we knew. That was the deal. Everyone knew. I've explained it a million times. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a revelation. I've said it a million times that it's the freshmen that play. It's not the water boy, bro. You can discount it all you want and stuff, but it's not the water boys. It's the freshmen. Yet, as Carleton fucking played with fucking 3 of their starters missing too. So, it's an exhibition game. It is what it is, but we'll just say that Carleton seems to win a hell of a lot more than they lose in these exhibition games. I don't think they've lost to an NCAA team since they lost to Syracuse, for fuck's sakes, in overtime at the Carrier Dome. Do I think the Alabama national champs could beat the Montreal Alouettes? No. No. I know it's tempting, Hyman Roth, but no. I know it's tempting. I think Alabama would score. No, but like, you know what I mean? Look, Johnny Manziel already beat Alabama, bro. Vernon Adams is like fucking. Vernon Adams might not be a great CFL quarterback, but he's still better than anyone in Alabama now. We'll put it this way. We'll put it this way. Like last year, Alabama and the Cleveland Browns, people would say, oh, the Cleveland Browns couldn't play against Alabama. Vegas set a number for it. And it was the Cleveland Browns minus 28. The Cleveland Browns are minus 28-point favorites against Alabama. So let's say the Hamilton Tiger Cats played the fucking Alabama Crimson Tide. Hamilton would probably be about 14-point favorites. Hamilton would kick the shit out of them. Fuck. The Hamilton Tiger Cats would beat Alabama like fucking 56-21 or something. I'm not saying Alabama wouldn't score. We've been through this a million times. Like basically what would happen is, and I'm telling you, I've seen this firsthand. Right? I did the fucking World Global Junior Championships. I saw older kids from Quebec beat the shit out of all-stars from every state. Every year it was the same thing. They kicked the shit out of them. Fuck. You know, football, it's manhood matters and shit. Size matters. So basically what would happen is, yeah, you know what I mean? Like the fastest kid on Alabama, their skill position wide receivers, they'd get open. You know, I'm not saying they wouldn't. They're fucking fast as fuck. They got NFL skill and shit. You know, Calvin Ridley would, you know, now he's in the NFL, but Calvin Ridley would get open a bit on a Hamilton Tiger at defensive back. He'd also get shut down a bit. And it'd be a major fucking problem. Their big problem would be on the offensive line. The grown men would just collapse that fucking pocket. And another thing is the confusion of grown men playing defense with blitzing schemes and shit. The college quarterback would be overwhelmed, as you see. Look, Johnny Manziel is a Heisman Trophy winner. The guy fucking threw 4 interceptions and 6 passes in the CFL the other night. Like, he looked like a deer in the headlight kid, fuck. Like, oh, shit. Like, he looked better in the NFL than he did in the CFL. You know, like, the CFL's no joke. It's no party, right? So, you know, you've got fast fucking dudes, man. The thing is, in the CFL, there's not a big discrepancy. Like, the skill position players, like, I have a lot of scouts will say the difference between an NFL and a CFL player is basically about 0.5 seconds in a 40. You know, and another thing is, too, a lot of guys in the CFL are head cases. Like, the CFL has a lot of dudes who, you know, were kicked out of college. It's sort of like, think like a JUCO kid. You know what I mean? The CFL have a lot of dudes who transferred a lot, got kicked out of school. Look, Chris Rainey, BC Lions. You know, the guy was on the Florida Gators stealing credit cards and shit with Urban Meyer, right? Threatening women and stuff. He's in the CFL now. Ricky Williams, you know what I mean? The CFL have good football players, but they have guys with attitude. They have dudes that couldn't make the NFL. Like, a good example is Jermaine Copeland, my buddy. Jermaine Copeland's like the only fucking dude. Pretty cool resume, fuck. Jermaine Copeland won a national championship with the Tennessee Volunteers. He was on that volunteer team with T. Martin and Lewis. So he won a national championship with Tennessee. He won the fucking the XFL championship game with the LA Extreme. He won the Grey Cup a couple of times with the Alouettes. And I believe he was on the practice roster of the Cowboys, fuck, when they won the Super Bowl. I think he's the only guy like with rings at all 4, or whatever, fuck. So like, he was just, I don't know, Copeland's just a winner. He was at the right place at the right time. He was good at Tennessee. Like the Cowboys, he was just on the practice roster type shit. I don't know if he got a ring, though. I think he was just there, and he might have got cut that year or whatever. But anyways, like Copeland was pretty much a semi-star in college. You know, he wasn't a star, but he was very good in college. Won a national championship. He was one of the future receivers with T. Martin on that team. And, you know, he tried out for the Cowboys. He got drafted late by the Cowboys. He might have been there for a year or so, actually. And, but anyways, like, Copeland could do it all. Like, Copeland could catch the ball. Copeland could block. Copeland could do fucking everything. But they said Copeland just can't get off the line of scrimmage in the NFL. Right? In the CFL, you're in motion. No one's jamming you. So Copeland just couldn't get off the line of scrimmage with someone jamming him. So in the CFL, he was fine. You know what I mean? It's perfect. But it was just that one thing. If he just could have fucking had a little more speed and a juke move or whatever, but he didn't. Like, so, like, you look at the guys, like Duke Williams in the CFL is a wicked wide receiver. Why is he in the CFL? Because he's a fucking head case, right? Like, you go down the list. Like, there's a lot of dudes in the CFL that are very good, but they're kind of nut jobs and shit, or they're rehabilitating their image. You know, that's a lot like that. Well, they get waxed. Well, it depends who they play. Look, I don't think Carleton would beat like the Kentucky Wildcats in a Sweet 16 game. Look, I'm all over the place on this. I'm actually in the middle in the sense that there's a lot of you in the chat that just discount Carleton. And there's a lot of people that overvalue Carleton. Look, I've been getting tweets here. Look, here's my boy, Pete Yiannopoulos. Now, Pete Yiannopoulos knows more about basketball than any of us, all right? That's just a fact. And Pete Annapolis was an assistant coach on the UMass Minutemen that went to the Final Four. So it's not like, oh, Pete doesn't know NCAA basketball. He was the fucking coach that went to the Final Four, right? Now, whatever, it was John Calipari's team. He was just one of the fucking stiffs at the end of the bench in the coaching staff, right? But, so he's been around NCAA basketball. Now, he says that they could make it to the Sweet 16. I say, and I've said before, that to me, they'd be more like, a team trying to get into the tournament every year. Like I said, I'm realistic. Like they wouldn't compete in the Big Ten. They wouldn't compete in the Pac-12. Like they're not a Power 5 team. But the thing is, in college basketball, there's a million teams. And like I said, there's about 200 teams in college basketball that brutally fucking suck that I know dudes in the park that can beat. Like I said, have you ever watched Marist play basketball? You ever watch a Manhattan Jasper game? You ever watch fucking Cal Poly play and fucking struggle to get to 48? Fucking brick. There's like a lot of bad college basketball teams, man. Well, I sort of look at them like the Montana Bobcats of the world, or Montana Grizzlies, you know what I mean? Montana States, sort of Big West type shit quality. But anyways, all we can do is go by these games, and all we know is by these games that Carleton fucking kills them all the time. That's what I'm like, Pitt, exactly. Exactly, Kyle Hamburg with Marcus Camby. Yeah, like Pitt. Pitt were fucking terrible, man. You know what I mean? Thing is, if you look like the Carleton Ravens guys, they've had guys that have played in NCAA too. Like they've had guys that have transferred from Carleton to the NCAA. And to put it in comparison, like the schools they go to, it's like they had like a couple of dudes that went to Boston College, Like they didn't go to Duke and shit. I'm not sitting here, oh, they're the best. Fuck. I'm just saying, give them a little respect, All right, so you guys are asking a lot about the NFL preseason here. It's true. Well, we'll be around this week. I'll be on the road, but we'll be around. So it's not like tonight's the last night for NFL preseason games, but we'll take a look at the numbers here. We actually do have quite a few little NFL stories on the board that sort of trickled through the wire over the last couple of days as well. Oh, yeah, this is another thing, too. Remember I always tell you guys, it's funny, too. I say this every night. I said, yeah, college football. I said, now we're at the time of the year where every day there's going to be suspensions and arrests. And so I don't know what it is with the North Carolina football team, but these motherfuckers just can't stay out of trouble. Their starting quarterback is among 13 players that have been suspended. Fuck. Who do they open up with, too? Oh, East Carolina. The suspensions will be staggered because there's so many of them. North Carolina Tar Heels announced that 13 players, like how crooked is this fucking program down there? North Carolina announced on Monday that 13 football players will be suspended to open the season after the school found. All right, this is why, we're going to get back to, they got to pay the kids. Basically, North Carolina gave the kids some wicked-looking fucking Nike custom Jordan fucking shoes. They sold them. 13 players on the team sold their shoes. Fuck. Hey, at least you didn't fucking hit a chick or something, They didn't steal anything. I'd like to know from a legal standpoint, actually, it's their property. Aren't they allowed to sell it? You know what I mean? That's such bullshit. Now, listen, I'd be pissed if they sold it too, but Like, remember there was a kid that sold his jersey. I thought it was pretty smart of him, fuck. Like, the kid played in a bowl game, and he sold the jersey that he played at a bowl game on eBay type shit. Or on, he had a little auction online for it. You know, bowl worn, game worn jersey for sale. He sold it. I think the kid was on Alabama, actually. Fuck. He sold it, and the NCAA freaked out. You can't do that. They didn't kick him out, but he got suspended for a fucking game or something. You know, and they were like, you can't. He basically argued. He had a lawyer, and he basically argued that it's his property. Fuck, whatever. It's my football jersey. You know what I mean? You can't tell me not to sell this. It's mine. And they were like, no, it's not yours. It's property of the university. You basically are borrowing it. So the thing is, too, right? You know, it's supposed to be a special treat for the guys on the team. All right, you know, Michael Jordan came here. You guys are Tar Heels, so check it out. You guys got custom-made fucking Tar Heel, badass fucking shoes that nobody else has. But in the kids' mind, right away, they're thinking, I don't give a fuck about these shoes. And, you know, and fuck you, fuck. I'm going to sell them. But it's pretty clear that, like, there was a plan amongst all these kids. Like, it's not surprising. Like, normally this shit happens. It's one kid on the team, and they'll say, listen, don't do that again. And it doesn't get out. But clearly, it appears to me that basically everybody walked out of the meeting in which they got free shoes and looked at each other and said, let's sell these. So, but it's got to be pretty disappointing if you're the coach. You know what I mean? It's like, guys, you know what? You're going to sell your tracksuit we give you too? You know what I mean? We try to give you cool fucking shoes. You guys have custom shoes, and you got to go and sell them. You know? Like, this is why we can't do anything nice for you. So basically they're going to say, they'll say, well, you know, this is why you got to pay the kids, right? This is why you've got to pay the kids. This is why you've got to pay the kids, and, you know, they wouldn't be doing this type of stuff. All right, nice. Cubs get that run. Nice, Spencer. All right, so yeah, let's get to Kelvin Benjamin. So, fucking Kelvin Benjamin's an idiot, fuck. Kelvin Benjamin is a fucking idiot. So Kelvin Benjamin was asked in Buffalo by a Buffalo reporter. Like, you know what? I'm starting to see why. You know, like, I'm starting to see why. Like, it's better if a player just doesn't do interviews, fuck. You know, we'll get to Marquette King. Marquette King's causing problems in Denver already. Fucking Kelvin Benjamin does an interview in which he just goes off and starts ripping everybody. It's like, dude, fuck, you're in no position to rip anybody. You know what I mean? You suck, fuck. You're fucking fat and out of shape all the time. You're always complaining. You're fucking slow, and you're bitching. You know, like Kelvin Benjamin's bitching, fucking. I mean, the guy came in and he weighed like fucking, he was like 280 pounds last year in camp, if you remember. And he's calling out Cam Newton. And the thing is, you're not even on the Panthers. So Kelvin Benjamin was asked, you know, about where his career is and, you know, what this year means to him. You know, it started off as a harmless question, basically. Hey, you know, Kelvin, new season's upon us, and, you know, fucking, what's your take? And, you know, how do you feel this year coming off your injury? And so it turned into fucking, hey, the reporter, you know, at The Athletic was pretty happy that fucking Kelvin Benjamin opened up like this out of the blue. He didn't expect him to, right? You expect a normal, boring answer for, oh, I feel good. We're going to have a good year this year. He says, I mean, and when I speak to it stuff, I'll try to read them word for word, but I'll adjust a bit because these guys, you know, Florida State doesn't teach English well. Florida State University's most popular class is how to beat rape charges. All right, so Calvin Benjamin says, I mean, I felt like I would have been even more successful if, looking back on it, I should have been drafted by someone else. I should have never went to Carolina. Truly, I just think Carolina was bad for me. It was a bad fit from the get-go. He continued on to reveal that he believes the quarterback situation was the reason for his failure. If you put me with any other quarterback, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Any other quarterback. He goes, you know, put me with a Rodgers. Put me with an Eli Manning. Put me with a Big Ben Roethlisberger. Put me with anybody. Put me with a quarterback who actually has some knowledge, that knows how to place a ball, that knows how to give a wide receiver a better chance to catch a football. I never felt like I've been in that position. All right. And then he gets called out for this, basically. Greg Olson's like, this guy, I don't know what the fuck. They said, you know, and no one threw him under the bus in Carolina. All the Panther players said, you know, he's a nice kid. He was a cool dude when he was here. We're sorry to hear that he feels this way. And Greg Olson said, you know what? I owe a lot to Cam Newton. I have some pretty good numbers. And I got a pretty good contract. Fucking, you know, it's like, Benjamin, you're calling out the MVP of the NFL from 2 years ago. And you've been a big bust. It's, you know, so the thing is, we'll get to Cam Newton in a second here. So Benjamin didn't like that he's being called out because people are like sending him tweets and shit saying, shut the fuck up. You came into camp fucking 285 pounds last year. So now he gets all personal about Benjamin. He goes, I was the one who buried my mother last year and skipped the grieving process to get back and help that team. Let's be real. You know, if we want to be real instead of being fake. He goes, I was salty. All right. He's admitting he was just pissed. He goes, I was salty and I've been holding it in. Now I'm free. Hate me or love me. Cam Newton, of course, is now being fucking peppered with shit. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Cam Newton has no comment. All Cam Newton said is, I ain't going to get into no back and forth with them. I'm just going to go to work. The Buffalo Bills now, Sean McDermott basically told Benjamin to shut the fuck up. And McDermott said to Benjamin, don't worry about fucking what's going on with other teams. Worry about our team. And what makes it awkward is crazy is the general manager of the Bills was the general manager of the general manager of the Bills was the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, who drafted Benjamin and drafted Cam Newton. Right? So it hits closer to home for the Panthers. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand, like, these athletes today, man. Like, seriously. Like, seriously, dude. You've been a big bust. So he actually goes on. There's more to his interview. He goes on to say that he goes on to say that he's better than the other receivers taken in the same draft class as him. But he was not in the same situation as them. Now, we should note that Odell Beckham was taken in the same draft. Like he basically said, in his own words, he said, I'm better than Odell Beckham, I'm better than Sammy Watkins, and I'm better than Brandon Cooks. And he said, we all know it. So, like, I don't know. The only thing we're really finding out about you, Benjamin, is you're pretty fucking delusional. And I'm a Buffalo Bill fan, you know? You didn't do shit with us last year. You got hurt, fuck. You were slow. You got hurt. You made a couple of you made a catch or two in the end zone once. You kind of disappeared a lot. You were always never in shape. You know what I mean? You're like, honestly, you're the last motherfucker that should be talking shit, man. I know. The guy thinks he's better. It's like, dude, you're not better than Odell Beckham. You're not better than Brandon Cooks. And even though Sammy Watkins has been a disappointment, he's still better than you. Sammy Watkins is still better than you. And another thing is, I don't know, do you ever think that maybe you're not on these other teams because they don't want you? There's a reason you're on the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, no shit. That's a great point by Christopher Palermo. That's a great point by Palermo. People bitch about fucking, he wants to bitch about Cam Newton. Who the fuck has Cam Newton ever had the ball to throw to? Calvin Benjamin? Like Greg Olson's his best target. Greg Olson's good, but Greg Olson's pretty old. And, you know, I'm a big Greg Olson fan, but let's be real. Greg Olson's always been the best fucking player on that team, besides Cam Newton. Yeah, I think listen, I'm a Bills fan, but Calvin Benjamin's, you know, not a good look to me if you're Benjamin. Worry about yourself, bro. Now, let's be real here, too. If Calvin Benjamin says, this is what I don't like about this, and this is why it'll be his last year on the Bills, whatever. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He asked for a contract, and the Bills said no. The Bills said, you can't get a contract. Like, Brandon Beane knows him well, right? The GM, he drafted him. So Brandon Beane knows him well, and he told him, fuck, he likes him. He said, Calvin, fuck, I love you. You know, I drafted you. I traded for you to come here, but I can't go to the owner and tell him to give you a contract extension. You're going to have to prove it on the field this year. So Benjamin, you know, we'll see. You know, we'll see where it goes with that. But as far as Cam Newton is concerned, so the deal is, he says, I've been holding this in for 4 years. And the thing is, too, like, it's not like he was wrong by the organization. It seems like he's pissed off he got traded, right? That's what this comes down to. He was pissed off that he got traded by the Panthers, that they got rid of him. The thing is, you were out of shape all the time. You were becoming a problem for them. And whatever. I'm not surprised they got rid of you. You know, it is what it is. Fuck. You know, it's a business. So he's upset. I get it. Fine. You're upset they fucking traded you. So I don't understand if you're upset, why you just don't say, I'm upset I got traded, or I'm upset about the way it was handled. And, you know, say what DeMar DeRozan said. You know, just bitch about the process, basically, of it and move on. But instead, for some reason, he turns it into a thing with the quarterback. And he goes, well, I've been holding this in. So where I'm going with this is, if Calvin Benjamin was unhappy and thinks that it sucked playing with Cam Newton and catching passes from Cam Newton, and it is true, Cam Newton has only topped 60% completion rate twice in his career. Cam Newton is not an accurate quarterback. Cam Newton does get his wide receivers hurt. Cam Newton does fucking throw every fucking football like 3 feet too high in the air. All right? Like, Benjamin's 6'5", man, and he used to have to go up and fucking really get it a lot and get hit and shit. So that's the thing that clearly Benjamin knows and is trying to not happy about. You know, he's thinking, I got hit a lot because of this motherfucker. And it really is true, right? Like, some quarterbacks, like, that's why certain quarterbacks are liked more than others. Some quarterbacks won't put their receivers in a bad position. You know, like Drew Brees, you'll notice with Drew Brees, it'll happen once in a while where Drew Brees will throw a ball and the receiver will get killed. And you'll see Drew Brees, like, is upset. Like, you'll see Drew Brees, like, fuck. And he'll fucking go up to the wide receiver after, and he's like, I'm very, very sorry. I fucked up. That'll never happen again. You know what I mean? Like, Breeze looks out for his guys. You know, you get to these other guys, Cam Newton just zings it and shit. Fucking, he expects you to jump up, expose, go up and get it, and you get fucking killed. So my point is, if Kelvin Benjamin's pissed, and he thinks that fucking Cam Newton sucks to play with, well, how's he going to feel when he's got to deal with fucking, how's he going to feel when he's got to deal with fucking Josh Allen, man, and Nate Peterman? You're going to be holding it in all year, you know what I mean? It's basically, like I said, Benjamin just sort of lets himself know that he's a bad teammate, essentially. You know, not a bad teammate, but, you know, even the Panthers said, no, he was all right when he was here. Like, they're asking, now, was he a problem when he was here? They said, no, he was all right. You know, he's just fucking kind of bitter. Yeah, now he's going to the snow with a shitty quarterback. I don't know, man. He should realize a lot like he should realize that a lot like, you know, Des Bryant, that the league doesn't really care about wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like the league will not bend over backwards if you're a prima donna wide receiver. They just don't care. There's like, you're a dime a dozen to them. They're like, you know what, dude, we could find another kid that's 6'5" that doesn't have the attitude you do. That's the way the NFL works, right? You run your mouth too much. You put yourself, like the league already fucks you. So if you put yourself behind the 8 ball, you'll just get fucked more. Like he should just shut up for his own. Like if I was his agent, I'd tell him to shut up and say, dude, you're not doing yourself any favors. Which leads me to Marquette King. I don't want to spend too much time on Marquette King, but I was wondering yesterday, I forgot where he went. I know that Gruden let him go and shit, right? So he ended up in Denver. And he's already fucking threatened fucking one of the reporters in Denver. He went on the radio the other day, a Welcome to Denver interview, on the Brandon Stokely radio show. All right, on the Brandon Stokely radio show in Denver. Former Bronco player, you know, radio host guy, another radio host was there with co-host with him. And Marquette King was an asshole on the interview. Like, he wouldn't answer questions. He was just a jerk. Yes, no, and you know what I mean? And they ended the interview after 90 seconds. It was that bad. So they ended the interview after 90 seconds. And basically went on Twitter after and said, you know, Marquette King, very unprofessional. You know, if you don't want to do the interview, why bother? You know, don't do the interview. Don't do the interview and then come on and be an asshole about it. And it said, you know, in 15 years, blah, blah, blah. I've never had this bullshit. And fucking, you know, Brandon Stokely played in the league for 15 years. He deserved better not to be treated like that on the radio. Like the co-host guy was all pissed. So Marquette King fucking responded to the guy's tweet after, just with a bunch of emojis, kind of like laughing. All right, whatever, you're an asshole, leave it at that. No, Marquette King saw the guy at the Bronco practice yesterday and threatened him. He went up to him, there's pictures, fuck. And the guy's like an old man, fuck. It's like this old fucking dude standing there fucking on the side of the practice field watching a practice. Marquette King comes up to him and starts getting in his face. Keep your name out of your fucking mouth or else you're going to find out. Fuck. He threatened the guy. And, you know, and then the Broncos, like, pulled Marquette King away. And the Bronco players all on his back on Twitter. Oh, that guy's an asshole in the media. He always tries to cause problems and stuff. But, you know, it's like, dude, you're a fucking kicker. You're a punter. You know, like, why, like, this Marquette King guy, man, like, for a fucking punter, he really causes a lot of fucking attention around him, man. You know, like I think Gruden is a little over his head. I don't think Gruden's going to do a good job of the Raiders, okay? But it's hard for me to criticize Gruden for getting rid of this guy. It is. It's hard for me to criticize Gruden. Like, I can just see Gruden thinking, I don't like this, and I'm not going to put up with this bullshit. Yeah, I don't know what all these emojis mean, actually, Paulo. So he told him to suck it, huh? He told him to suck it, so. But on the other side of this, supposedly, on the other side of this, supposedly Marquette King is killing it in practice. No shit. With that altitude, like his punts are going like 80 yards and shit. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. I don't know what team he's on. He's in the CFL. There's some dude on the CFL team. He's from Norway. He's a punter, Norwegian dude. I heard them say the other day, oh, this guy's from Norway. And the punter, I swear to God, this guy fucking kills the ball, man. I don't know who he is. I'm not going to say he should be in the NFL. I want to watch him in another week or two again, but he's one of these dudes where you could just tell right away. It's like, oh yeah, he's got it. And I swear, man, this guy, like, I've 70-yard punts and shit. I think he might be on the fucking the Argos. Was it? I think he's like an injury replacement dude. Who is he? Fuck. Who's the CFL? Maybe Babano will know. We'll ask Babano on Wednesday. Oh, it's the Ravens. My bad. He's already in the NFL. The Norwegian guy's already in the NFL. Well, hey, I was right. Hey, I told you he was good. I told you he was good. Yeah, you see that fucking guy? Holy shit, man. That Norwegian dude fucking that Norwegian dude, I saw him the other night. Man, in that Hall of Fame game. Yeah, he was booting the fucking, but I forgot because I was like, I saw him in one game, so I was thinking CFL since it's CFL all the time. Yeah, they're going to have Justin Tucker as their field goal kicker, and this Norwegian guy's their punter. They'll be in pretty good. All right, so updating the baseball games. All right, our parlay, whatever, it's 3-1 right now. How long is this fucking Cub game going to be? For the love of God, man. Baseball games are too long, man. Like, even listen, and I don't want to see clocks or anything like that, but I don't know what's going on the last couple of nights, but it's too much. It's too much. You know, you guys wonder why fucking attendance is down. So what do you expect? You people, so you're supposed to get to the ballpark for a game that starts at 8 o'clock. You know, what, you got to get there, you got to park, you got to leave work, so basically you got to leave at 7. And, you know, it's like 3.5 hours, these games, fuck. Like the Cubs game started at fucking 8 o'clock against the Royals. It's 11:24 now. 3.5 hours is just too long. You know, that's why the NBA is more popular, man. The NBA game is like 2 hours and 18 minutes. Fuck. It's like, bam, you're out. You know, TV-wise, they move on to the next game. Like fucking last night, that Red Sox game, guys. That fucking Red Sox game. Like, for fuck's sakes, man. It didn't end till what? 1:30 or whatever, 1:45? I don't even know. I was on the air on Patreon. I ended, man, we were talking about how, holy shit, it's only the 5th inning and it's fucking 2.5 hours in. And I had to step out last night after. I went for a little walk. I went out. I had to pick some things up. And I fucking came back. They were still there. They fucking tied it. It went on for fucking ever, man. So I was thinking, it's like, man, like these people have been at the park since like 7 o'clock tonight. It's 1:40 in the morning. It's too much. It's too long. It's like 2 NFL games. Like an NFL game's only 3 hours and 5 minutes. Like these fucking baseball games, they're just too fucking long. I don't mind the flow. Like, listen, I'm not, like I said, I don't want to tinker the game and put a pitch clock and all this type stuff. But what I do want is just the flow of the game to be quicker. You've got to get the flow of the game a little bit quicker. You know what I mean? Like, the umpires need to stay on top of this shit. I think you should limit mound visits. Like, that's what I would do. I just start squeezing them a bit. You don't want to change the dynamic of the sport and the beauty of the sport of baseball. But at the same point in time, it can't go on like this. You know, they tried. Remember, like they were like, don't step out of the box so much. Does anyone listen anymore? No. Batters do whatever the fuck they want. They're always stepping out of the box, grabbing their balls, kicking the dirt. Fucking, let me redo my glove. Fucking every fucking pitch. Fucking pitchers. Pitchers are pretty fast, actually. Pitchers have gotten faster because pitchers like to work fast for the most part. So it's the batters, fuck. And then it's also the managers and the pitching coaches. They're all fucking slow old men. They fucking like take forever to walk to the fucking hill deliberately to buy time and shit. You know, like everything's just got to get sped up. Like I basically tell them fucking, you know, you've got fucking basically from the time that you leave the fucking dugout to the here, you've got 2 minutes. All right. You know, if you've got 90 seconds. So you better waddle to the mound a little faster there, Gibbons. You ever like John Gibbons takes like 2 minutes to get to the hill. He really does. He takes like, wow, he gets up all slow, starts walking like as slow as he can to the mound. It's like, bro, man, you know, people aren't paying to watch you waddle to the mound, asshole. Their attendance, well, we see that Margarita Sandoval clearly doesn't get the point at all. I don't think bettors are the only one that don't care about how long the game goes. It's actually about the mainstream public, Margarita Sandoval. There's a reason why attendance is down big time across the league. People are bored, fuck. People don't want to go to a base. That's like playing golf. It's the reason why, you know what? If I could play golf in 2 hours, I would. If you told me, yeah, why don't you play around and come out and play golf? I can't. I'm not going to spend an hour and a half driving out to a golf course, and then another fucking 5 hours on the golf course, and then another hour and a half coming back. I'm not spending 9 fucking hours fucking to play golf. It's the same thing. You go to a baseball game, it turns into a 7-hour adventure. Fuck. The average person doesn't want to spend 7 hours. They don't have 7 hours. So what, you take a fucking kid to the fucking game right now? You're at a baseball game right now with your fucking 8-year-old kid? It's fucking 11:30 at night. They're still in the fucking 8th inning right now in half these fucking games. You're going to be back home at 1 in the fucking morning. Fuck. Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of fun leaving fucking the White Sox game right now. Fuck. 73 people got shot in the last 48 hours. Perfect, fuck. Perfect time to leave a baseball game tonight in Chicago. What are you talking about? A game is $200, fuck. You know what they could do? They could get rid, what they could do, and they should do, is get rid of the fucking, they need to shorten the commercial breaks in between innings. That's basically what they should do. You basically do what soccer does. Soccer's got it right. Soccer ratings are the biggest ratings all the time. Soccer has it figured out. Fuck. People don't care. And I'll give credit to Fox, actually. I was watching a Fox baseball game. I noticed the Fox baseball game of the week does this now, where they don't go to the commercial break. They do it a bit too much now. They're getting greedy with it, but they basically state, you know what, they just sort of, the commercial sort of pops up at half the screen and the game keeps going, and then they go back to the game. Sort of like in soccer with the inbox popping up, Carlsberg, you know what I mean? Baseball should do that more. Like The little warm up in between innings is a waste of time. Like the players are already warmed up. They don't need to be warmed up. The pitchers don't like it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Like the, and another thing is too, you add it up. Let's say a pitcher pitches like fucking 5 to 7 warm-up pitches in between every fucking inning. It's like an extra 70 pitches thrown onto his fucking total that he doesn't need. It's stupid. Like pitchers can tell you, yeah, I can throw the ball fucking twice and I'm ready to go in between innings. Quick loose thing, fastball, all right, let's go. Like you'll notice it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? You've got the outfielders playing catch with some fucking ball boy kid. You've got fucking the infielders are fucking rolling the ball back to first base and staring at chicks in the crowd. Like, if you've ever watched, you got a game, watch like the little warm up after every inning. It's a waste of time. Like, it really is just a waste of everyone's time. It's just buying time for the commercial break, right? So they could speed that up as well. No, that's not true. Baseball is a revenue-driven sport. Fuck. There's a lot of wrong answers tonight in the chat. Football is a sport that it wouldn't matter if one person showed up. Like football is a sport where they could play in front of empty stadiums and they'd still make billions of dollars because of the TV. Baseball's different. Like baseball has a good TV deal, but the owners make a shitload of money, man, in attendance. Fucking LA Dodgers? Are you kidding me? You're playing 81 games with 48,000 fucking people a night? That's a lot of money, bro. And when you get like I saw a number with the Jays. The Jays have lost like fucking tens of millions of dollars in the differences in ticket sales. I think it was like $100 million. Like the Jays are selling 10,000 tickets less a game than they did last year. It's severe money like that they're losing now. And it's not, it's the money of the tickets, and then it's the money that people would spend at the stadium after that they're not spending because they're not there. I saw the number. I thought it was like 119 million. It was a ridiculously high amount of number. The Jays have made less money because of that. Yeah, Kyle Hamburg. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of regulars on the DL tonight. It's like it's a getaway day here. Hey, there's JN Reports. I was talking to you the other night. JN Reports does Chicago State basketball. Good to see you, JN. That's what I'm saying. Nobody goes to White Sox games. I haven't gone to a Blue Jay game all year. I love baseball. I haven't even considered going to a Jays game. I watch baseball on TV. Another thing is, too, the TV experience has sort of changed everything in sports, right? Like, it really is now to the point where everything is better on TV. I hate to admit it, but it's true. Like, the UFC is better on TV. Football's better on TV. Baseball's good in person, but it's long, like we said. I'd say basketball. Basketball is good on TV or in person, right? Basketball's quick. It's 2 hours. I don't know. There's just a pace to a basketball game. Baseball does have problems. They know they have problems. Like they're painfully aware. I think baseball's marketing team is bad. I think baseball is a good product, but they don't market it properly. Like the other day, the commissioner of baseball was basically blaming Mike Trout for Mike Trout's lack of popularity. Like they were like, Mike Trout's the best baseball player, maybe the best baseball player ever. How come Mike Trout doesn't get the same love? And he's American even. You can't say, well, he's from Venezuela. He doesn't speak English. It's like, no, he speaks English. He's from Philadelphia. Yeah. Well, yeah, he speaks it despite the fact he's from Philly. Sorry, Philly, just kidding. So it's pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys saw this story the other day, but we saw the story of, like the Q brand rating. So basically, Mike Trout is the best baseball player by far, obviously, right? Did you know that he is as popular as Kenneth Farid? It's pretty crazy. Kenneth Farid. Like basically, like Mike Trout ranked like behind every major NBA player, and then basically arrived at the same Q rating. So basically, like out of 100 average people are asked, have you ever heard, this is how this works? It's basically like they call, it's an average poll. So it's like, they ask like women, children, you know what I mean? Everyone, children, like it's like ages 10 up. It's like, have you ever heard of this guy before? Have you ever heard of Mike Trout? And the same amount of people that have heard of Mike Trout have heard of Kenneth Farid. Kenneth Farid has the same Q rating as Mike Trout. Fuck. Like when you see that, and you see that there's literally like 150 basketball players and every other athlete. You know what's crazy? Like the only athlete that was actually in the top fucking 100 of baseball was Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's still the most famous baseball player. So like baseball, we know baseball. We're all baseball junkies. But in reality, no one knows who the fuck these guys are. No one cares. No one knows. Baseball is not America's pastime anymore. Football is. Let's be real. My Q rating is, I don't know, probably pretty low. Not what Mike Trout and Kenneth Farid's rating is. I think you can find out, actually. I'll look it up. We'll look up. I don't know. I probably don't register, to be honest. If no one knows who Mike Trout is, no one knows who I am. You know what I mean? Like you could ask like sports fans, and some sports fans to know who I am, and every sports fan knows who Mike Trout is, but the average person doesn't know who Mike Trout is. To me, that's on baseball, though. It's not on Mike Trout. Like Manfred was like, oh, Mike Trout needs to fucking know how to market himself better. It's like, what do you want him to do? The guy's a great baseball player. He shows up every day. It's up to you guys to market him. It's like Steph Curry doesn't market himself. Steph Curry hits threes and he gets marketed by the NBA. It's like, no, you have this great talent. Your job is to market. Like you're asking what? You're asking some kid from Philadelphia that's a jock fucking like Mike Trout's not, the biggest intellectual in the world here. I'm not saying he's an idiot, but I'm saying like the guy's a baseball player. So what, you asking him to be a marketing PR genius now? No, like why don't you do that? That's your job. You're the one you're selling the league, not him. Yeah, Mookie Betts a good example too. And the funny thing is with Mookie Betts, are you just saying that, Cam Raphael, or did you find it? I have the same Q rating as the Canadian chick on Dragon's Den. That's just Kyle Hamburg. You're right. Like Mookie Betts is a really nice guy too. Like when you see Mookie Betts, like you never really see him in an interview much, but when you see Mookie Betts talk, you're like, fuck, the guy's pretty funny actually. Like he's soft spoken, he's funny, he doesn't have attitude, he's very humble. Like it's funny, Kyle, you say that too, because when I saw Mookie Betts, I was like, man, how's this guy not a bigger star? He's a great player. No one knows who he is. You know what I mean? I was thinking, I never even heard him talk. Like, honestly, I was thinking when I saw his interview, I was like, I think this is the first time I've ever heard Mookie Betts talk before. You know what a problem is? You know what a problem is with with guys like Betts and guys like Trout and shit. They're making so much money. Well, they're going to make more money down the road, but you know what I mean? I'm just stating baseball players are making so much money, so they don't care. It's like, whatever, man. And like someone said too, the shoe deal is kind of an issue. You're not really selling. It's not like basketball shoes where you can sell the shoes. It's not the same, but they can have mainstream sponsors, but they don't really care. Like, baseball players are making $25, $30 million a year. So it's like, whatever, fuck. I don't have a Subway deal. Who cares? It's not my issue, but it's baseball's issue. It's baseball. It's, the players don't care. They're getting paid either way. They got guaranteed contract. Like baseball, you guys got to realize there's empty seats. I think you got to lower the prices a bit. And one thing too, I will say, and I talked about this on a radio show the other day on Sirius. They asked me about baseball attendance, and a big problem with baseball attendance being down this year, it's really down in the American League more. And it's because no one's in contention. So that's one thing that hurt attendance this year. It's a strange year where who's in contention? You got the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Indians are going to win their division, and you got the 2 wild card. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a weird year where everybody's out of it already. The Blue Jays are out of it, the Tigers are out of it, the Royals are out of it, the Twins are out of it. We can go down the list of cities and markets, like the Rangers, the Orioles have been out of it all year. The White Sox have never been in it. So there's no hope in any of these cities. So it's like, fuck it, man. The team's fucking 28 games out of first place. Like, unless you want to go and fucking get ripped off for hot dogs and beer, what's the point of going to a Baltimore Oriole game? Unless you're a fan of the Yankees or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're going for the night out on the town, but if the night out on the town, they're ripping you off, you're not going to go. It'll be a problem in the NFL too. The NFL is still a behemoth, but the NFL is showing cracks. The NFL's TV numbers keep declining every year. The NFL's attendance keeps dropping every year. Like, it's a reality. The thing is, the NFL is just so big that they can afford to go down a bit, and they're still the biggest, right? But the NFL is definitely trending in the wrong direction. Like, they're going to have to figure shit out soon. Look, you got in the NFL. What are the Rams charging for their personal seat license? $100,000? What is it, 150? I think the Raiders just announced $75,000, $80,000. The Raiders, what was it? Raiders announced PSL. The Raiders can't pay Khalil back, but they got a free $1 billion stadium. And if you want the right to buy a season ticket, you have to pay them $75,000. So you're like, really? Like, this is the future of the NFL? The Rams want $125,000 for a personal seat license. PSLs are agreement to give the fans an opportunity to purchase season tickets. The Raiders are going to generate $160 million in PSLs that the players don't get either. Like, this is all like the little shit that the fucking owners are smart about. Like, the NFL players are so stupid. Fuck, they're PA, like, they're idiots. Like, basically, it's like the owners just play them. Fuck. The owners just fucking say, yeah, we'll split up the TV, we'll split up the merch, and we'll split the ticket sales with you. And then the players are sort of like, all right, that sounds fair. And then right after they do the deal, it's like they realize after, it's like, fuck, we didn't put the expansion fee in. We didn't get any money in the luxury suite. We don't get any of the parking. We don't get any of the concessions. And we don't get any of the seat license. So it's like the NFL owners just fuck these, like, that's why it's sickening. Like, the NFL really is just sick. They're a sick fucking company, man. They're just pure evil. And it's just funny, like, they don't pay cheerleaders, like, they refuse to pay players, and like, oh, we can't guarantee your contract. We don't have any money. Like, how can the Raiders look at Khalil Mack and say we can't pay you? Like, the Raiders are stealing money from two cities right now. You guys are playing in Oakland. Meanwhile, people in Vegas are giving you $160 million for the rights to give you more money to buy tickets. Las Vegas built your stadium for you. They got a free stadium, free personal seat licenses, but no, we can't pay the linebacker, the team. That just, would set a bad precedent. You think the UFC is bad? Fuck. No. Like, the NBA players are smarter. Their PA is better. Like, the NBA actually, it's a little different because, there's a few luxury things. It's different in its nature, but like, the NBA doesn't get stiff for everything. Like, the NBA players get a cut of everything. Like, they covered all their bases. The NFL PA, they get rolled over all the time. And then the owners, oh, we can't pay you. Like, why is there a salary cap? Like, every NFL team can afford to pay the player whatever they want. Like, baseball players can pay a team whatever they want. The salary cap is just there to screw the players. Like, what do they need a salary cap for? You know how much money the Green Bay Packers made last year? They don't like people knowing, but they don't have a choice because they're publicly owned. The Packers made like $288 million in profit. They didn't even make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs. They made $300 million. Like the Buffalo Bills. I saw the Buffalo Bill number. Like, it's crazy. The Buffalo Bills suck, all right? The Buffalo Bills have never won a Super Bowl. They've been to one playoff game in 20 years. I think the Bills fucking made like $198 million or so last year. Like, Pagula took home $200 million at the end of the year in profit. And the players don't have guaranteed contracts. Like, it's a big sham. The NFL's a sham. And then taxpayers fucking build the stadiums and shit. It's crazy shit. Owners make it possible. Holy fuck, dude. Like, they make what possible? Fuck. Exactly. The thing is, if you don't play ball and you don't build them a stadium, they'll leave. They will. That's the thing. we'll see what happens in Calgary now, even with the NHL. Like the NHL is proven that they're serious about that. Bettman doesn't give a shit about Canada either. Bettman will fucking take Calgary away if it keeps going. Calgary Flames will fucking be in fucking Kansas City, fuck, you know? Listen, I've always been, I see both sides of it. I don't think the public should build stadiums for sports teams and arenas for sports teams, but I do think that the sports teams should get like big breaks and shit. Like there is a residual trickle down effect from a sports team being in a city. Like there is. It brings a shitload of money into the town. But the thing is, it's not worth it if you're spending more money. Like Vegas isn't going to fucking get their money back for the Raiders. That was a vanity buy. You spent $2 billion on a stadium. You know, Vegas is already on the map. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole city, and you already have tourists there. Like you're not going to see the difference. Like you basically just gave the Raiders a shitload of money for them to play there. Like I remember when the Expos left, like they said the study and shit, what it would cost. And it was pretty significant. Like even like just one baseball team, the amount of money that they generate for a city. It was, you know, it was like hundreds of millions of dollars. It was basically, you know, when you added it all up, basically, you know, they talk about like the taxis, the hotels, the restaurants. Like if you think about it, like even a Major League Baseball team going to Montreal 81 times a year, like their visiting team, that's fucking 81, you know what I mean? On a baseball team, there's about fucking 60 people. You know, you got 25 players, coaches, workers, fucking, you know, there's like 48, 55 people or whatever traveling. It's a lot of hotel rooms. And they don't stay in shitty rooms, right? So that's 55, 70 hotel rooms that are fucking booked every fucking night in that city. 81 nights a year, that's 70 hotel rooms booked. These athletes and shit, they don't all eat at McDonald's, right? So that's another fucking, you know, a couple of $1 million in fucking food bills and shit. You know, they've got to take taxis around town. They've got to fucking take this. And another thing is they got to pay tax, right? People don't realize that. Athletes pay tax in every place that they play in. Like people think, oh, you get taxed here. No, they get taxed everywhere. They get taxed everywhere. They get fucked over everywhere. So like basically, you know, if you're like an NBA player and you're making fucking, you know, if you're LeBron James and you're making, you know, whatever it is, $380,000 a game or something that he makes, when he plays in the state of fucking Ohio or whatever, when he's on the road or he goes to wherever, he's got to give like fucking whatever, like a little percentage of it and shit. Like some states, there's a few like Florida, Texas, Nevada that doesn't, but I know like it was a big thing in Quebec and shit. Like visiting teams didn't like it. They'd have to cough up a share of their money. It gets taken care of by the team, but there's a bill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you guys made this much salary in our town last night. Where's our cut? I don't even think they sold it for $25 million, Big Will. I think they sold it for $1, bro. Like, that's the thing with the Expos. Like, the Expos are coming back, or, you know, they should be. And the thing with the Expos is they don't want, like, they're not asking for government money and stuff, but they basically just said, listen, don't fuck us over on the land. Don't fuck us over on the taxes. Give us some tax breaks here and shit. You know, don't make us pay fucking property tax on a stadium. Because, you know, and they were smart. Like the mayor of Montreal, she listened because she said, I'm not giving you guys any money. She goes, I can't support, like, you know, I don't believe in that. And they were like, listen, we understand that we're not asking you to pay for a stadium. We're not asking for city money. But, you know, what we are asking is let's work together on this because, and then they showed her, because look, you know, you're going to have fucking 70 hotel rooms filled fucking 81 nights a year here. You're going to have the taxes. You're going to have the salaries of the Expos players. You're going to have, you know what I mean? Think about that too. You know, all those Expo guys, you know, there's like 40 Expos, 60 Expos employees. You know, they all have to live somewhere in Montreal. That's fucking, you know, 60 more fucking rental units. And it adds up, fuck. And like I said, they don't live in shitty places. So they're all paying fucking, you know, $3,000-$4,000 a month rent and shit to live in high-end condos and apartments. You know, it's a lot of money, man. The fucking doorman. Like, I remember, like, when the Expos were there, Livion Hernandez lived across the street. He lived downtown on Peel Street in Montreal, but I had a sponsor this pizza restaurant and other shit they made, but they made good pizza. It was downtown, and Livion Hernandez used to eat there every night. Like, he didn't cook. And, like, basically, whenever they didn't play and shit, he would fucking come in and he would eat. Like, a couple of times a week, they said he'd come in and eat. And he would always leave $20 tip. See, that shit matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would always leave a $20 tip. Like, the chick told me, he goes, he eats the same thing every day. Like, he eats lasagna. She goes, he eats a lasagna, and the lasagna is $10, and he puts 30, and he doesn't say anything. He puts 10. He just leaves $30 on the table. He fucking walks out. He's, thank you, and he leaves. So she goes, it's great. He gives me a $20 tip every time he comes in. Fuck. And, you know, that's the type of shit in the economy. And he's just one Expo, right? So there's other Expos fucking hiring hookers. And, you know, then that hooker goes to the grocery store. It adds up. Well, I don't know. Livion Hernandez is a psychopath. I mean, he might be a good tipper, but he did beat up an old man with a golf club. He's a good tipper, though. All right, so we got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. I've got an early morning flight. Holy fuck, I hate that shit. You know, what's crazy is I didn't want a fucking early morning flight like this. I actually had like a 10 o'clock flight, and then the guy that booked it rebooked it. He's like, oh, you got to get here earlier. It's like, man, my flight's at 6:45 a.m., man. I got to be there an hour before, too. Fuck. 5:45, man. It's fucking brutal. Yeah, these guys are nuts, too. They're like, thanks, McInnes. Yeah, these guys are nuts, too. They're like, yeah, you know, you could get to the studio and get on the air around 9:30 or 10. It's like, I'm getting on a plane at 5:45 a.m. You want me to get off the plane? I'm going to be in New Jersey. I got to find my way into the city on my own here somehow. Okay, and then what? You know? It's like, fucking stress, man. I'm not stressed, though. Whatever. I just don't like waking up at 5 in the morning. I don't really go to bed until 4 o'clock every night. You know, I don't fall asleep till 4 or 5 often. So, and I'm not staying up. That'll kill me. So, I don't know. I'll try to fucking get a couple hours sleep here tonight. At least when I come back on the afternoon flight. So I prefer that. No, we'll see you tomorrow night from our hotel, and then Wednesday from a hotel, most likely. And then Thursday night, we'll be back right here, God willing. Thanks, Andy. I see a lot of you guys cheering for the Texas Rangers here. Yeah, hotel shows, whatever. They'll have to be 2-hour varieties because I'll be on early in the morning in New York. But oh yeah, Wednesday night. That's right. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Thanks for reminding me, Ad Hoc. Thanks for reminding me. Nah, but you know what, Ad Hoc? He's got to be on the air at 9 in the morning too. So it's not like we're going out late or anything like that. We'll probably just go out for dinner like earlier in the, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll probably be on the Carton show tomorrow in the last hour, apathetic bystander. Probably like from 11 to 12. It's on the Fantasy Sports, where I'm on every day already, but it's on the Fantasy Sports Network YouTube page, video, and then it's on radio too, where we're on every day. Tomorrow, though, like I said, I'm going to get in there. Their show already starts from 9 to 12, right? But I'm going to get in there around 10:30 or so. So we'll see. I might jump on for the last hour. But if not, I'll be on Wednesday and Thursday morning for the whole shows, 9 to 12. Thanks, Hyman Roth. Hey, boom, Seattle's up 4-3. I don't want to say the word, but I'll just say, look, we hit the Marlins winner. We hit the Yankees Cubs parlay plus 124 winner. So we gave you a plus 145 winner. Sorry, it was a 160 winner, that one. The Marlins was a big payday winner. Plus 124 winner on the parlay. We gave you the no runs in the first winner. We're on under 7 in the San Francisco-Houston game. It's 1-0 in the 7th inning. And we gave you the Seattle Mariners, who are up 4-3 right now. Mariners win. Fuck, if we can hit San Francisco and the under here, then it's a nice. I don't want to jinx it. It's like a no hitter, you know. you don't want to jinx it, but we're close to a no hitter. All right, guys. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're going to be on the road tomorrow, but we got your back. Don't worry. We got your back. We'll be on tomorrow night. And we got that NFL preseason. I'll do some research tomorrow and over the next couple of days here. We'll get to the bottom of the quarterback situations. But one thing I will tell you, let me just look. Like, where are the teams that played in the Hall of Fame game? I see the Bears are at the Bengals. I would lead with the Bengals right there. They played against the Ravens. So the Ravens, I'd lead against the Ravens. But the problem is the Ravens are fucking 9-0 against the spread in their last 9 preseason games. They just don't lose, fuck. Or they're 9-0 winning. Leg 3, though. You know, I got to do a little bit more research on this, but I'll just give you something to think about with that, guys. I think Cleveland could be a good preseason bet, too. With Tyrod and Mayfield, they're deep at quarterback and shit. But I was going to say, I'm going to look it up, okay? maybe some of you guys will get up if you're interested in this stuff too, but I've noticed that teams that play in the Hall of Fame game, you would think, oh, they have an advantage playing in their second game, and the other teams haven't played yet. But I'm telling you, the teams that play in the Hall of Fame game always lose the next week. I'll look it up and prove it to you. They don't care about this game. It's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much for them. Like it's like, you know what I mean? These other teams have fucking haven't even played a game yet, and suddenly the fucking Bears and fucking Ravens are traveling and fucking already weak. You know what I mean? It's almost a throwaway. I remember losing. I learned this lesson the hard way. I remember like thinking a couple of years ago, I remember that. I was like, man, these teams have an advantage. They already played a game. And then watching a game, and I remember the coach after was like, yeah, we were pretty beat up after that first game. And, so from my experience, and I'm a pretty old dude, my experience is both the Bears and the Ravens are a little beat up after playing their first game. And they've got much more to come, So I think they're both fade material. And then next week, they'll both be like serious about it again. As I stated, coaches can't run NFL teams into the ground in the preseason. They just fucking played a game. And here they are playing again on Thursday night. They just fucking played. Like, they're not going to, they're not happy about this. Like, teams don't even like playing in a Hall of Fame game because of this. All right, guys. So, hey, thanks for everything. You guys rock. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to watch all the SBR shows tomorrow. Big Man, Donnie Rightside, Jamie the Bag, Low Shack, and company. They'll get you ready for the big day tomorrow. Drew Martin. Drew's a good guy. Look forward to seeing him in Las Vegas. We'll see you guys in Las Vegas as well. And we'll see you tomorrow night from New York City. Other than that, you're on your own. Go Giants and under. Let's get this. Later.